We're joined here in the studio by Yos Tarshish, who is the chairman of the World Union of Jewish Students.
Thank you very much for having me.
We're a pleasure having you, which is, of course, a global organization of Jewish students. I myself, many years ago, had some involvement with WUJS, as we called it again.
Always good to hear.
I told him, I texted him.
We talked briefly I talked myself about, for my parents and more my generation, what the Six-Day War meant and the unification of Jerusalem. For the younger generation of Jews, does it still have that same resonance, that Six-Day War, or has some of that faded and has to be reinforced for young Jews globally?
Do you know what? I think there's no, it's very heterogeneous the way our community, our age group, millennials are notoriously divergent in their opinions. For me, growing up in the B'nai Akiva youth movement and being passionately religious Zionist, spending a year in yeshiva in Israel when I was 18, Yom Yerushalayim has always been a palpable reminder of how far we've come as a people living in Eretz Israel. But I also acknowledge, and I experience daily with progressive Zionist Jewish students who are involved in our organization, involved in other organizations on campus, how difficult the Yom Yerushalayim ceremonies and the Jerusalem Day is for them. And how it challenges their...
Because we should explain, because of what Mohammed has talked about, the fact that for Palestine, half the city, it is a time of recalling this half a century of what they call as occupation.
It's a time of mourning for them. And increasingly Jewish students are separated in this opinion. I think what's interesting is that it's not that they feel it's less relevant, they certainly feel it's incredibly relevant to them. But they just have very different ways of expressing how relevant it is to them.